But I do want to confirm, and we'll do a proper rundown here. But I want to confirm with Kevin, since he has the keeper of the notes. Correct me if I'm wrong. We are. Where'd my little calendar go? Hang on. 7th of summer, Wayne. Is that right? And we're starting Q2.
That's what I have down.
Okay. Wanted to make sure. I did not write that down at the end of the last session, but I remember basically it being 8 o'clock in the morning, or whatever, that day after you guys had virtually all of you had pulled some sort of all-nighter or been up because you slept earlier in the day or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's do a bit of a recap. Kevin, I don't think we put the onus on you last time. You want to start, and others can embellish?
Sure. Yeah. Feel free to jump in, other folks. So we started with that griffin was attacking us while we were on the river. So we had a little bit of a challenge getting to the bank. Both crews made it to the bank, but on the way, the griffin went after Conn first, and Conn was a marksman and kept plunking it for a little bit of damage with his arrow. Then finally, after some yelling, Garm got it to come after him, which he did kind of a weird like wing buffet attack and like shot a bunch of stuff at us. And we barely stayed in the boat, but we did, which is good. Let's see. Then our boat just tried to book it to the shore, and unfortunately, the griffin grabbed Stas and took him for a little ride. Heard a griffin dive, 10 for 10 would recommend. Would do it again, but Stas, he nailed that landing for getting back into the water safely, or mostly safely. And he even gets an extra die whenever we do to lead the way again, because he had an excellent view while he was up in the air. Let's see. The griffin flies off from all the damage it had taken. But we finally make it to the shore. We pull up about a mile away from the structures on the map, which we find out was the village or town of Riversknit. We met a dirty-faced human child named Lems. We hid the boats, met Lems. That was kind of out of order. Sorry. Find out that there's gardens, fields, goats, cattle just outside a palisaded village of about 50 to 60 people or so. There's a wooden watchtower outside of the town that has I think it's a ballista. Is that right? Some siege weapon.
Yep.
On top. That's what keeps the griffin from attacking the cows, though there was a recent cow who got away and got destroyed by the griffin. A random note that Lems dropped for us was that the elves live to the northeast of the village, though he didn't necessarily say how far, but that was kind of his random little bit. In Riversknit, there's a journal tab of the place. See that for more details. But we meet Olaf, a talkative guard. There's restless dead wandering around the walled cemetery, which is a thing in the Ravenlands. That's why they're walled. And they're non-violent. They just kind of wander about. Conn and Askelon get rooms in the inn, though they have to pay double for Garm because he's an orc. And Conn and Askelon go to sleep. At the smithy, Garm and Stas meet Stom, the village elder, a 5'1" stout dude. There's some trouble in the east. The Repenters. I don't remember what that deal was there, but I wrote it down. We find out the name of the river is the Elia River. That's the one we've been on. Leads all the way to the sea, though there are some swamplands that we'll kind of go through if we keep following the river. And Stom was going to look around and see if he had a map somewhere around that might help us. Garm gave him his shield and his armor to get repaired. And Stan also said that the griffin lairs to the east, and it's been here for almost a month, or for over a month, and he'd pay us for killing it and bringing back proof. And then Stan was going to come meet us at the inn to talk later that night. Then some folks went to the trading post with a woman named Darfa, who's very rotund, has a lot of junk, common items from the trading goods list, maybe some uncommon things. There were some rolls, figure that out. Darfa tells us to come back tomorrow. She has something that's worth 1 gold piece. dot, dot, dot. Quarter 3, everyone sleeps and eats. And then quarter 4, Conn, we did a bunch of training stuff. Conn trained something, Garm trained something. Askelon went and met Ori, a tall, long, dark-haired woman at the Raven Temple. And Askelon, I think he sang a song, right? Got to know Ori, tending the flock. She's a healer. They kind of decide or work out something that he might get some training for Path of Healing. Not this quarter, but maybe in the future. Stas talks with Stan Stom and did some training as well. Oh yeah, and Stan will pay us 6 gold pieces to kill the griffin. Then in the wee hours of the morning, let's see, Conn went over to talk with the folks of the watchtower. Garm did some training. Askelon caroused in the inn. Talked with Sigga. I think that's how you pronounce it. A scarred treasure hunter. It's from the east, so talking to him later might do us some good so we know where we're heading. And Stas hangs out in the sinkhole watering hole and trains a little more and was successful in the carousing. And I think he played a game and played for free that night, basically, cut even, if I remember right. And then we're picking up at quarter 2.
Sound right? Did you miss anything, guys? Anything big?
Sounds
I think
good.
that was pretty encyclopedic.
It's very thorough, Kevin.
Sorry.
No,
I
good.
didn't pre-read it
Thank you,
today.
Kevin.
Never apologize for being thorough, Kevin. That's what those school systems have been doing to you.
Yep.
And frankly, a lot happened, right? You had a battle and then got into the town and had a crap ton of NPC interactions, learning things, training, discovering places inside the village and all that sort of stuff. So there was a lot to cover. So, and frankly, I don't remember all of it. I thought I didn't remember the reward for the Griffin being 6 gold pieces.
I think it was 12.
That was
I think it was
that
12.
was 16. I thought. Yeah.
16.
I'm not going to believe either of you two. I trust Phil. Phil was at 6.
I thought what Stas says is correct. Path of Lies too. I think it was.
Oh, for heaven's sake! I can't trust any of you guys.
And Path of Gold one.
Yeah.
We will roll. We will roll with the notes that Kevin took.
All right. Also noted for the future.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's just do a tiny recap of each of the 4 characters in town. And I also, before we even start, open your sheets and increase your reputation by 1, because I think rolling into this village and talking to the folks at the temple, at the watering hole, at the inn, you're all going to have some reputation that's building. Does that make you all 2, or did some of you have more than that?
Just 2.
2. And Conn's only got 1. Is that right, Phil?
I think I'm only at 1. Yeah, because I'm young.
1, don't you?
No, I started at 0. I think because I'm young.
Oh, I love it.
You're young.
I forgot about that mechanic where you don't have any reputation at all.
Right.
No one's heard of you. Nice.
Well, I think I think my bardic necromancy, that Venn diagram that I'm working on for my character is paying off. The reputation.
Yes. Bizarre.
The singing necromancer.
I think you really need to keep
systems.
Exactly. And you need to keep playing up the bard side and keep saying bard. You definitely won't die from random GM.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm dead. Yeah,
Bard.
Boulder falls from sky. Yes.
Crushes bard.
Yes. All right. So let's not get right into the action yet, but individually, Stas, what was Stas doing when Q1 for this day ended, which is midnight to 8? That's when he was in is it the sinkhole? Is that what it's called? Yep. The sinkhole, basically that underground kind of bar. And that's where he was doing a lot of his sort of gambling, testing out his ability to flim-flam people and all that sort of stuff. Correct, Sean?
Well, I mean, flim-flam seems a little like I'm
over
trying
the
to
top.
take advantage of these guys or something.
Seems pretty accurate.
But I think it, from my interactions, my social interactions at the watering hole, I honed my craft a little bit of. I believe it was either the Path of Gold or Path of Lies. I think it was, or both.
Yeah, I think you may have done one of each, right?
I did, but I don't know if I did one of each in the same environment or if I. Yeah, it might have been the woman. The woman I did like Path of Gold. I think she was kind of futzing with me, and
I think it was Stan when you were in the inn by yourself.
Yes.
Stan.
I failed
when you were negotiating the price of the for the Griffin, right? We rolled into that since it was a 6-hour time period. We rolled in your ability to increase your Path of Lies or whatever. Yeah. In any case, doesn't matter. So you spent basically the whole night at the inn in negotiations, then at the sinkhole. So what is Stan going to be heading out and doing when the sun is up and he's kind of rolling out of that sinkhole place? What's his immediate destination?
Oh man, I think I'm going to do kind of a route around the perimeter of the village. It probably on the outside. Just kind of walking around and taking it all in, and because I think I've got in the back of my mind the Rust Brothers and the orcs are not far from this place.
That is correct.
And to think that this little village is going to potentially withstand a encounter with those two groups might be something I'm interested in knowing if it's even possible.
Might be a stretch.
Right.
Okay. So hold that thought as we, I think we'll see Stas heading out basically outside of the gate so we can kind of do an early morning reconnoiter. What about what are we going to do next here? Let's do Askelon. What were you doing in the last quarter, Askelon? So midnight to
I was sleeping
8
in
a.m.
quarter one.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So as the rooster crows, and I would imagine there's a bell in the Church of the White Raven the White Raven is the inn. The Temple of the Raven, there's probably a bell that rings as well at dawn. Okay. What do we see? What's Askelon doing for the next number of hours?
This wasn't on the write up, but I think she told me to come back in Q3 to do the quote training, and I told her that if she needed help, during Q2, that I would help her. So I'll eat breakfast, and if I see Siga, I will ask him if he's going to be available later in the day or even during this quarter to talk to myself or my friends about what lies in the east, that we'd be very interested in learning about that if we could exchange lore or what have you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just trying to do like a brief.
I'm not trying to do a whole thing. So
no, I know
that's on my mind.
I'm just getting it in my own head. I think
my damn freaking camera screwed up again.
I think what you've done though is right on, because I think what you guys agreed was she could help you tomorrow. This was yesterday, but the agreement was, hey, you could come during the services in the morning, which is that 8 to 6 to noon time frame, probably singing, right, hymns and all that kind of stuff. So you'll also be on the lookout for Siga as well. Conn, what was your last? When did we last saw you in the tower? Is that right?
Yes.
And I think you may, correct me if I'm wrong, you may even want to do a little bit of a flashback to cover some questions that Conn asked at night in the tower. Is that right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll hold fire for a minute there. And what we'll probably do after I talk to Garm next, we'll return to Conn and we'll cover a couple of those questions he wants to ask. And then we will move Conn into the next quarter and we'll kind of go from there. Garm, when did we last see Garm? What was he doing in that the first quarter?
He was training some more. He's specifically training his ability to defend against attacks a little better.
Where was he doing that?
I'm trying to remember where I described that. Let's see.
Was he
I didn't write
outside
that
the
down.
walls? Or
Yeah,
was
he was outside. I think I was kind of behind the blacksmiths. I asked for like a clear area. I think they actually put me kind of towards the watchtower because somebody wanted to keep an eye on me.
That's right.
So I worked on that and was training Path of the Shield 3, but
Gotcha.
doing quite a bit of kind of training regiment.
Okay. I might be misremembering, but I think we even described maybe Conn and company had even seen Garm doing his thing, right?
Yeah.
In the night, in the sort of twilight phase of them, or the early morning phase of the dawn, that type of thing. I could see him. All right, so let's return for a minute to Conn, unless anybody has anything specific they want to dive into. So in that, Conn, were you training something? Or were you as well?
No, it
or
was
you,
just chit chat.
Yeah, that's right. You had trained the bow and then come back to the tower, right?
Yeah, the idea was, I think, too, was Conn's paranoia about the Rust brothers and knowing that they were heading in this direction was probably one of the reasons why he decided to go up onto the watchtower with the other guards. And then, as a secondary thing, obviously, to get more information about, like, what's the deal with what's the big concern about the fact that, we're traveling with an orc and we got to pay more for him to stay at the inn with us. Do the Rust brothers ever come through town here? And then probably a couple other secondary questions would be like the Repenters, like who are these folks to the east? And any idea where this Griffin's lair might be.
Okay. Before I move totally off of Garm, I don't think, Kevin, I didn't ask you what Garm's intention was for the next, for that after dawn.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay.
I think
you can keep thinking about it if you want while we deal with
I would like to keep
Conn's
thinking
questions.
about it. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not
that's fine.
sure.
That is fine. So there's probably a changing of the guard. So we're back at kind of that early morning. It's two in the morning type of thing. The guards in the tower, there's two of them, have changed, and Conn has joined them as well. So it's nighttime in Riversknit. The sky is dark and the stars are out above your head. The river's flowing past. And the guys have this large wooden, and you can now see as you're close to it, the thing shoots two large quarrels at a time. So it's this big double bowed thing that they have to use sort of levers to get it reset and whatnot. But it's a pretty powerful piece of artillery, basically. And what you've learned before is that tends to keep the Griffin not just clear of the cows, but the town itself. So basically, it keeps the Griffin at bay, is what they tell you. But one of the soldiers, let's start with your questions, Phil, and you'll have to remind me what they are because you rattled off a few.
Sure.
But when you ask about where the Griffin was, I think what you learned before, and this guy doesn't know much more. We don't know. Comes in from the west. We think it lies somewhere up to the north, and then he kind of points northwest. If you're looking at the map, sort of the north of the river, west of the village, but north of the river is kind of where he gestures. We usually spot it in the sky coming from that direction, and that's where it usually flies off. And sure enough, that's where it went after it dropped Stas as well.
Gotcha.
So I'll even ping on the map direction here, kind of that direction.
What's up that way? We've got mountains, hills, or just more woods?
There's woods, there's orclands up there. So I wouldn't be going up there too far.
What's with your concerns about the orcs? I mean, we're traveling with an orc. He's been a good lad. No issues. Handy with a shield and a bow. I mean, a sword. But when we went to the inn, we had to pay extra for him to stay there.
Well, people don't trust the orcs after the mists lifted. They put some villages to the torch. Have you not seen that?
No, the only villages I've seen to the torch have been ones done by the Rust brothers.
Well, one of the whole reasons we built this watchtower to begin with, because of the orcs, because we were worried about them.
Do you know what tribe lives to the north of you?
Phil making me scroll out.
Mm-hmm.
Bastard. Stand by.
Yeah, no worries.
I do think we talked about it before as well. Second here.
It wouldn't be the same tribe that we encountered at the tower, would it?
Likely.
Oh, okay. Remember what the name of those guys were?
That's what I'm looking for.
Do you remember, Kevin?
Do I know?
Yeah,
I
do you remember?
I do not remember.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, he means Kevin, not Garm.
Yeah. Let me scroll up.
Here we go. Okay, I got it. I have a hard time finding the map that actually places. Let's see here.
Roka. They were the Roka clan. That's what I had down.
Okay. And sorry about this, Phil. Just give me 1 sec.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
So he says, I don't know them orc clans very well. Roka or her, I don't know. One of them. They're fighting amongst themselves too. They sometimes they force themselves to different parts of the land.
Did you say or her?
Her or Roka.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. I guess the only other thing really I'm curious about is who are these repenters to the east? Never heard of that folk.
Repenters. He turns and looks in that direction. And from there, again, if you look at the map, you can see that the river leading away from Riversknit, there's a lake that it leads to, and there are hills to the south. And he gestures just right in the general direction of the river and the lake and says, Repenters are followers of the Raven. He points at the temple of the Raven in town and says, but they're touched. They don't think humans have any place in the Ravenlands, and they kill them on sight.
Are they humans? Humans killing humans.
They are. They're like crazy Raven sisters. If you want to know more, you talk to that Ori at the temple. She'll tell you all you want to know about the Repenters.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Anytime.
And if you see any of them Rust brothers, you know what to look for.
We ain't seen Rush Brothers come through here, so no.
There's a large group of them heading east. They were following Clan of Orc. They're a pack of men, almost a dozen of them. They wear lots of heavy armor, but it's all covered in rust. Do not open the gates to these people. In fact, I suggest you use that big bow on them as soon as you can. And get all the archers you can up on these walls and fill them full of arrows.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you talked to...
They'll put you to the sword if you don't convert. Just like them Repenters are a little bit touched, these Rust brothers are worse.
Have you told Stone Storm that?
I don't know that we've had the opportunity yet, but I'll make sure I do.
He'll want to know. We've heard the Rush Brothers were like on the march in the west.
Well, now they're heading here.
They've never been here before.
Well, they're coming. They're only a few miles away from us. You know that old ruined tower by the lake to the west?
Aye.
That's where we saw them.
That thing's haunted. You want to go close to that?
Oh, we took care of those hauntings. Don't you worry.
Did you?
Yeah, there's some foul, undead things that rose and attacked us, but worse was the harpies. They're all dead.
You guys have had quite the travels, it sounds like.
Yeah, we've seen our fair share of things.
All right. Anything else that Conn wants to discover?
No, I think that's good. Thanks, Harrigan.
I think they'll quiz him as well on what you've seen, where you've been, more about the Rust brothers and all that sort of stuff. So Conn, as dawn comes, where do we see Garm going, Kevin? Where's Garm heading as dawn comes?
As dawn comes, I think.
Yep.
I think he heads outside the town. Heads out outside the gates because people haven't necessarily liked him, the orc, being around, and he wants to practice with his sword. So he wants to get out kind of away from people. So he heads outside of town and maybe picks like a stump or something he can kind of, or maybe like a boulder or a rock or something where he can work on his footwork and kind of some thrusting. He's training sword fighter is what he's looking to attempt.
Okay. All right. So is he going to stay within sight of town, or are you going like some distance away? Okay.
Within sight of town.
Give me a direction. If you remember, north is like the graveyard, and further north, miles away, is the forest. South is the river, and also kind of the grazing lands, and a lot of the ruins we talked about, like the ancient grass-covered humps and hillocks that were all over the place. So Riversknit appears to be built on a much older place, right? Which is partly why places like the sinkhole exist, because there's all these uneven undulations in the terrain you can kind of dig into and that sort of thing. So is he? I'm just trying to figure out if he's like plain sight of the tower. Where is he?
He goes kind of towards the cemetery. I think he doesn't go in the cemetery, but he kind of goes that direction. Figures there's probably not many people about and around in that area, especially in the early hours. So,
got it. So on that side of town, and Stas, you see this as well. Let's incorporate Stas here, since you're going for a walk, your morning jaunt. So you come out of that north gate, Stas, as you see your pal Garm sort of he's got his I'm sure his pack and his sword laid out. He's warming up. He's getting ready to clearly do some significant practicing. You both see that there is the beginnings of the construction of a second tower that they're starting to put together here, but they are not, it's not even halfway done yet. It's all the struts and all the sort of the superstructure part of it that they're working on right now. But go ahead, Stas. You and Garm want to say anything to each other, or are you just going to tip your hat and go on your way?
No, I acknowledge Garm, and I go over and it's kind of in hushed tones, if you will. What do you make of all this? Putting up another tower, probably a wise move, but I'm surprised they haven't had to do it sooner.
I wonder if the town didn't have a wall, or if they had to fix it from something recently.
Does the town have a wall?
Has a palisade, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not gigantic. It's probably 8-10 feet tall and sharpened logs, right? Not a stone wall.
Or actually, as I think about it, I wonder if the Griffin is causing them to want to build more towers and put more siege engines on it so they can graze their animals farther out.
Well, that would make sense.
That'd be my guess.
They're going to run out of, if they want to probably have more animals and they need to feed them, they're going to run out of space if they can't get them out further into the pastures. Which I'm sure the Griffin will just love to come down and have a feast on those things.
Right.
But even this tower, how far out can they get? Maybe it's not so much as getting them in the front. Now they can maybe move their livestock to the back.
I've always heard that you want to rotate. We never hunted the same area over and over again. We roamed and hunted kind of in a pattern. I'm sure they want to do the same thing with the grass.
Yeah, I don't know. If those orcs and those Rust brothers come through here, this place may be sad shape. I don't know if we want to be around here when that happens.
Right. And they haven't necessarily been the most welcoming. And if orcs try to run roughshod through the town, I don't know that I would be welcomed for much longer.
Yeah. we got to steer clear of those guys. And we haven't had a town for a while, so it's nice to have a little shut eye and protection and maybe some resources, some good meal. But I don't want to really stay here for any length of time.
Yeah, I agree. I prefer the road. But while we are safe, I think I'm going to hone my skills a little bit. Got a little rusty out there, and not just who I was stabbing.
Fickle players. we want a village. I want to leave the village. Sean, I think you're still muted.
I am. My dog and wife are yelling.
Dog and wife.
Dog's not yelling. Wife's yelling for dog to come down.
Fair enough.
Anyways, but yeah, we don't want to be in the village when those. Hey, if we knew that there weren't any Rust brothers or orcs in the immediate area, hey, Shangri-La.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as Garm gets to practicing, what's Stas's general plan here?
I think once I just tell Garm, I'm like, hey, I'm doing a survey of their perimeter and just to see. I'm no warrior, but I want to see if they're. I don't have a good feeling, man. I think they're not that far away, and they're bound to hit this village. Even if it's just to come in and throw their weight around, maybe they don't raid them or pillage. I don't know. I just don't. There are two groups I wouldn't want to run into again. We ruined our shot. We could have negotiated with them. We screwed that up. We could have been in the orcs' good graces, and then if they came here, hey, we got some leverage. But they're not going to care. So, anyways, I'm going to go around. Garm, if you want to come with me, I'm going to go around and then I'll probably go into the village and see what other resources we have available. But I don't know about you, but I think we should leave tomorrow. And, oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Stom, what's his name? The old guy, he wants us to get rid of the Griffin and is willing to pay us 6 gold. And we could make more money in the Reach than put ourselves in that. Wait, dude, you see how high it took me? Dropped me on my head.
Right?
It's not worth 6 gold, I tell you, Garm.
The talk of money, kind of Garm's eyes kind of glaze over.
Yeah. What do you think? What's your thoughts?
Probably don't want to be here when the orcs get here. I wonder if the orcs won't go around. They look pretty beat up, but those Rust brothers, they're not going to go around, especially if they see that temple.
Well, they may find it. I mean, they need refuge. If anybody does, they were beat up and battered. They only came out to their big tough guys came out to challenge you, but otherwise they were pretty beaten down. Rust brothers stuck it to them.
True.
This could be Orc Village in like 3 days. Like this could be Orcville. I don't want to be part of Orcville.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of Orcville again either. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Definitely no later than the day after. Should probably.
Think we should tell the others. Are you coming with, or you got your own thing going on?
I'm gonna finish this up just in case we have to fight our way out of here.
Finish what up? What do you mean finish this up? What are you doing?
And then he does like a fancy like fencing pose as he like moves some footwork forward and back.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Hey, I gotcha. You're doing fancy sword moves. Got it.
Yep. Just getting things back in order.
Well, I don't want to be pincushion, so I'll leave you be.
Kevin, are you sure Garm doesn't strike an Ernie pose and go, I'm optimizing my build?
Maybe.
All right. You leave Garm to his practice, to the whirling blade and the sound of the steel cutting through the air, orc grunting, getting it going. And Stas, unless you have something like really specific, it's early morning, in the village, so you probably see people out tending animals, either rounding animals up that were out overnight or letting animals out, moving them from one place to another. People who are probably tending. Remember, I mentioned there are some gardens as well outside the walls. People probably working in the gardens that are either weeding or picking or whatever. So the whole place is sort of has woken up and is alive. You probably get a few waves from people who knew that there were strangers in town, that sort of thing. But you're not gaining. There's no griffins in the air. There's no orcs on the march. You don't see much of things that really give you concern. It's actually a little bit idyllic. Like these guys they've got some defenses. They've got each other. They've got food they're growing. They're doing okay.
No. You can't convince me, Game Master. This place is about to blow.
So Stas is just shaking his head every time he sees something that looks like it's innocent and works well. Nope. Don't trust that. Oh my. All right. You mind, Sean, if we move on to Askelon?
By all means.
All right. So Askelon, did you want to try to seek out Siga before heading to the temple? Or are you going to head over to the temple first thing?
I was thinking that Siga was staying in the inn. Maybe I was wrong. So I thought maybe I would run into him.
He is. Let's have you roll a d6 on a 4, 5, or 6. He's having breakfast.
All right.
Gotta get some rolls in.
First roll of the night.
Or
nope, not here.
All right. Was any of my fellows around, or are they all gone while I was at the inn? I don't remember.
You may have seen Stas. Let's say Stas got out a little bit earlier. You may have seen Stas going up a door saying, going for a walk, right? That kind of thing.
Okay. Well,
if you want to share a word with him, you can.
Yeah. I'll share a word with them on my way to the temple and just say, okay. I met a hunter who has been east of here. We need to talk with him to find out what we might run into.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Did you catch his name?
Siga.
Sadiga?
He's staying at the inn. Siga.
Not the same old guy. Who's the old guy of the town? I forgot his name. Stam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my stigma. No, not that guy.
Yeah, your S is confused.
A lot of S names in this town, and me too. Where are you going? You're going to the.
Go to the temple of the Raven. Yeah.
Oh, well, don't take anybody's hand.
Don't what? I'm sorry, I missed.
Don't take anybody's hand. Their hand.
Well, if you see any hands, let me know.
You know, the thing at the end of your arm.
Oh, I know. I could use some more. Definitely.
Well, I'm going to go and take a gander around the perimeter. I'll maybe catch you later.
Okay.
You then head on to the temple?
Yeah.
Okay. So by dawn, there's probably, I'm thinking there's actually a dawn service.
Okay.
So Ori would definitely welcome Askelon. You know, there's a few people who are inside performing some rites and prayers and that sort of thing with townsfolk. I would think any of them who are religious certainly pray to the Raven. These are former Alanders, right? Not Alderlanders, as the Rust brothers are. So these are the descendants of the people who came and made peace with the elves hundreds of years ago, before the Blood Mist and all that stuff. So the Raven is definitely the main deity that's worshipped here. She asks you to help in service, and you can tell she wants you to reveal your ears and like plays up a little bit that we have Askelon the elf is visiting. And there's a fair bit of murmuring and
watermelon. Yeah, okay.
Watermelon.
I'll be happy to do that. And I will, you know, actually, actually don't know if there are how the languages work in this game, but I will greet them in Elvish and in the common tongue, I guess, and I will think of like the first time that I met a human that I can remember. I will say that it was when I was a child, and I will tell them about that memory and how fascinated I've been with your people, and I celebrate the old pact that our peoples had together, and I'm very happy to be here.
Wow. So it's a very special ceremony then, where it's a celebration of the union that the two groups had, and the elves eventually, because the dwarves, you might remember, did not want to let the Aelanders stay, and the elves convinced them that if they struck this pact, it would be all would be good, and they worked together and all the rest. So Askelon is like a living embodiment of that, right? And the ceremony, you can maybe even there's a ceremony. I'm thinking there is a ceremony that only an elf and a human can perform together. So it's rarely performed unless you have a person from each group of people, type of thing. So that probably takes, maybe an hour to prepare and whatnot, another couple of hours to perform, that sort of thing. So it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure what Askelon thinks of this. For the people of the village, it's a moving experience, right? To have.
I think, he is honestly, intrigued by humanity. So I think, he'll be pretty into it. I mean, he may not be on the same, it may not be as heartfelt as they are. It's more, I think it's more almost intellectual curiosity with him. Not that he's completely analytical, but but maybe not the same, but yeah.
Make me an empathy roll, Askelon.
Okay. Okay, where is empathy?
Tell me if you get a success. Isn't it on there?
No.
Your main attribute, Wayne, just hit the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry.
That's the one.
Ooh.
So you did not pass. Do you want to push that? Actually, you can't push that because it's not a skill roll. Not pushing it. Okay. So
I have the push button. I was very tempted.
There is a vibe in the room, and Askelon does not pick up on it. He's too caught up in his own interests and the ceremony and everything else. But when anything specific you want to do during the ceremony, Wayne, or can we cut to right after that when you can speak with Ori on your own?
I mean, you can cut to right after. That's it, especially since I failed the roll. He has no idea. what.
He does not. But
I wasn't like going around and measuring their hands or anything, right?
I think you were counting. She has 2. He has 2. That kid has 2. That guy only has 1.
That one looks healthy. That hand doesn't look that healthy. Maybe I could. Sorry.
Oh dear. So it's probably approaching midday by the time all the ceremonies wrap up and whatnot. And again, these were the sorts of services that don't get rolled out every day. So it was a big deal. Probably attracted more people to the town. But as noon approaches, people are the doors are flung open and everybody's back to business now. Right. And Ori, I would imagine, is tired because this is these types of services are not your everyday thing. She wasn't really prepared for them. So she's probably rolling up scrolls and closing books and whatnot. It's just like, thank you so much, Askelon. Your presence here, your participation means so much to this village. I can't thank you enough. I'm happy to show you after we sup what I know of the healing arts.
I appreciate that, and I'll be happy to stay here and help you clean up, and then I'll see you later.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else he's trying to get from her?
I will say, my group plans to travel to the east. So if there are any any groups or anything you could tell us about the east? Down the river towards, okay, actually, I don't think he knows that much. Do we? Oh, there's a lake down there somewhere, but
You can see the lake
towards
from
the
like,
sea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So down there towards the lake and then onward towards the sea is our stated goal. Although I am in no hurry to leave. So
She says, travel, there's a reason we have walls and towers. Travel is very dangerous in these lands lately, as it is across all of the Raven lands. So
yes,
you'll do well to be prepared and armed and on your guard. But from what I've seen so far from you and from what I've heard of your fellows, you are well equipped for this. Before you go, I do want to show you one thing. So she leads Askelon to the back of the church. And there's it's like a gilded box that opens with doors that open this way, right?
Okay.
And she says, the heart of our village is protected by the elves. She unlocks it with a delicate key and opens it, and there's an elven gemstone inside this box that Askelon sees. She turns and says, no one knows this is here.
This
the
is
spirit-
a very precious thing.
The spirit of this elf protects this place.
Do you
I
know
feel
this
that-
elf's name?
I don't. I feel that your presence here is a sign that you should take this home, or you should find out who it was. It's the only protection the village has, honestly.
But you're telling me to take the thing that protects your village?
I want to do what's right. The Raven has whispered to me. This is our protection, but I also know that it's not mine. It's not ours to keep. If there's anything to learn about this elf, I would love to know. I don't want to be using it for our purposes when it belongs somewhere else.
Well, this is a great gift. I wish my learning was greater, but
Perhaps you could study it or spend time with it.
yeah, that is what I was thinking. Let me spend some time with it and see if I can discern what I can about it and maybe answer your question. So I'll reach out and pick it up. I don't know if there are like any greetings that I would think this is,
You can invent some on the fly here, Wayne. What does it look like when an elf with a material body holds the crystal, the heart of another elf?
I think that I think he in their old language will introduce himself to the crystal before, very formally, before he, and of course I'm once again I'm kind of racked with guilt about not being able to get the crystals out of that other device. So
Yep.
But I will do that, and then I'll kind of I'll bow and then reach down and pick it up.
It's warm in your hands, and you can feel the life force within it. I think you know this, Wayne, but
Right.
the heart is basically what's inside every elf, right?
Right.
And it's their soul, it's their sense of being. Some elves have given up their mortal forms and just exist as crystals.
Right.
And when one of the ways or the main way that elves reproduce is they actually shatter the crystal, and the fragments become children,
New elves.
become
Right.
new elves.
Right.
Exactly. So what you found in the amulet before that thing that you put in the bottom of the lake was probably a couple of shards. It wasn't like it was two entire elf stones. This
Oh,
is
okay.
this is one elf stone that belongs to one elf that you can sense. And you know, if you want, you and I can work on some mechanics for how you might commune with it a little bit.
Right.
But
right.
in this moment when you're first touching it, I think you can just tell, wow, this, you know, this being is ancient. It's still in there. It's sentient. You get probably, it's not exactly spoken language, but you get a welcome back when you
Right.
offer your welcome in the old tongue type of thing.
Mm-hmm. I'll be very quiet. So let's see, it's afternoon now, right? Are we in the second quarter, or are we past it?
We are approaching the end of Q2, about to be
Okay.
Q3, which is like noon.
All right. I will thank her again. And I said, I will give you as much information I can before I leave. And hopefully some answers. But thank you very much.
As she has stood and watched you do this, she's got tears in her eyes. And she's just sort of stood back to give you room. And then when you place it back into the container, she locks the box, turns the key, and gives Askelon a big old hug and just says, thank you for what you've done so far.
Okay.
I want to do what's right by this power that has shielded us.
Okay. I want to go off and try to commune with this, with the stone.
Okay.
The next quarter. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Actually,
so you're going to stay at the temple, basically?
I think that is the most peaceful place for me to be, and maybe that is, I will. If it means leaving the town, stepping outside the walls for a bit, I might do that.
Let's put it this way: you'd have peace and quiet in the temple because she can close the doors, right?
Okay, good enough. For me.
However, if you're able to leave the town and go find the woods, by going north for some distance, you may have a easier time actually reaching the soul of this thing and actually communicating with it.
Does that mean leaving here and going like a hex away?
It does. You think your chances would improve dramatically, actually, if you were not surrounded by a human settlement.
All right, I'll do that.
Well, we'll get to that. This is your thought. This is your thought.
I understand. I understand.
And I see the chat, and I see you all laughing. We'll get to the Bitter Reach someday. I couldn't help myself. I'm like, it's a village. There's got to be things to do. They can ignore them all, but.
So I have an idea about how to get some information from this that would bring in the other side of Askelon's character.
Okay. Good. All right. So you ruminate on that for a minute, Wayne, and think about what it'll look like, what it will entail. I do want to get back to Conn. So Conn, as dawn comes and you leave the tower and the guard has changed, there's a couple of new guys who are climbing up that long ladder that leads to the perch. What does Conn do for that sort of morning period?
So he'll climb down out of the tower, and he wants to train Sharpshooter 1. So maybe if he sees Garm go outside, he'd catch up with him, I think. That's probably where I would do my training, because with Sharpshooter, I need to be firing at a distance. So I'm gonna need some room for this.
Okay. So
go ahead.
I was just going to say, Garm is on the other side of the village. He's on the north side. But I would imagine as Garm walks through that southern gate, which is where the tower is facing the river and all that sort of stuff, if you just say, where's the orc? Like 18 townspeople are like, they know exactly where he is.
Perfect.
Out with his big sword, swinging it around outside. They're all like,
freaking everybody out. Yeah.
Yes.
Causing a stir.
That.
Okay. Yeah.
So you join Garm outside.
Sure. Garm, we got, sounds like there's more problems with the orcs to the north. The Roka tribe and the Uru tribe, I think is what he said. Sounds like they get into a lot of fights to the north of us. And there's some concern that they'll raid the village here. Ever heard of them?
Well, each clan doesn't really like the other ones. It's kind of what keeps the orcs from being able to actually, and Garm probably gets a little philosophical. It's what keeps the clans from really banding together and actually like trying to take over the Ravenlands. But I don't necessarily know anything too much other than they operate usually about the same. You got a clan mother. You got the biggest, toughest orc is the leader. Yeah, they like to take things from other people. They kind of feel like they deserve it.
Got it.
Might makes right.
Gotcha. Well, I know well, obviously you've seen it, you felt it, these villagers, they're pretty spooked by you and the other tribes to the north, but if we're heading east, sounds like there's some strange folk on the other side of the river. These repenters, they worship the raven and they believe that all humans should be killed. It's some kind of weird religious philosophy. I tell you, what the hell is with all these religions? The religion of rust, and now this. I tell you, nothing but trouble.
Right. That's why my religion's this, and he holds up his sword.
And mine is this, and I take a shot with my bow. And I guess at that, I'll just train sharpshooter 1. So I'll roll wits, and I guess I will pray to some god.
Yeah.
I also have to roll wits for.
Oh,
mine.
do you?
Oh,
okay.
Let's do it together.
Do it together. Pray to the Foundry digital dice gods.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh. Somebody's
Who got
good.
it? Who was that? Who got it?
Conn's good.
Okay.
Garm is not good.
Garm is not good, right? Oh man, 2.
Yep. Garm can push, but he may knock himself cold.
I don't think you can push on these ones.
Oh, is that right?
It's a talent. I don't know if you can push on talents.
I have a push button.
No? Wow.
I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. And no, I won't push.
All right. I'll tell you what, as we wrap up Q2 here, we're going to move to noontime Q3. Let's take a few minutes for a bio break, where I think we're halfway through our session or something like that, or close to it. And then come back and we'll figure out. It sounds to me like maybe some of you might at least kind of get together and do a little bit of a sharing of a game plan as to what's next, with the exception of maybe Askelon. We'll see what he's doing.
Oh gosh, I love it, Wayne. I love it. Going into the woods solo.
Eaten by
Is that
wolves.
not
There you
the
go.
death kill or like? Oh,
All right. Let's take a moment to pause here and speak meta, because we could not get to the bitter reach for a while, or we could go pretty quickly. It depends on what y'all do. I just want to make sure everybody's still giving me a thumbs up or not, are still okay with just letting the game go where it goes. Okay. Okay, good. Because I just know that every element we introduce from the background or anything else is a potential stumbling block to like your progress east. So as long as you're okay with that, we're good.
As long as you're having fun running it too.
Yeah. Really.
Oh yeah.
My new
kinda-
character is going to love it. He's going to love the bitter reach.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to meet him. Probably somewhere in this village, I'm guessing.
Maybe Stan. Diga is going to head east again.
That's right. Stan Stom is like,
down-
Yeah, stop.
I want to adventure some more.
We're down a person. Could probably use another one to join up. What do you think? Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good.
Nice. All right. Well, let's dial back in then. So midday Q3. Let me advance the clock here. And I should say this may or may not influence your decisions. Clouds have rolled in and drizzle has started to fall, and it looks like there's going to be heavy rain later in the day, like in the afternoon. And why can't I find my damn calendar?
It's good we're not adventuring out in this crazy weather.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Be dangerous.
More reason to stay put. My calendar has disappeared from the little menu bar on the left. That's interesting.
It doesn't say SC.
What do you mean by SC?
And that what the calendar icon, simple calendar?
Yeah, it is simple calendar, and it was literally there before and gone now. So I'm just going to try to refresh my game.
Yeah.
See if it comes back. It's just not present.
Is
There
it
it is.
because the
It's back.
game is paused? Oh,
No, I'll unpause it, but nope, it's back now. It just needed to be refreshed for whatever reason. So I need to do an hour and just take us to midday here. Okay. So tell me then, the four of you, Stas is returning. Two of you are walking back in with a lather worked up from your training, and I think Askelon, you're making some decisions about the right way to commune with this elven ruby that you found, this heartstone. Do the four of you come back together? Do you want to do that, where you meet out in front of the temple?
Fine.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do that.
fine.
good.
Sure.
Let's do
Sounds
that
good.
so we can do a little bit of a tete for the four of you and make some decisions. So the village is a busy place, but this rain is starting to fall. That probably drove Stas back inside. But two of you finish your practice, and Askelon, you can see them through the temple window, so you can join them as well in the street as the drizzle starts to fall. Over to you guys.
Okay.
We should get out here. Yeah, get out here. Jeez, that guy. Ugh. We should probably go inside. It's getting wet out here.
Right. So we should go in there after we told
I don't
them
want to
to
go in the temple though.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I guess we can. I don't know. It's fine. Just the temples make me nervous.
Yeah, that's
All right,
fair.
well, I'll go open the door for them at least. If they're coming this way.
All right. Is there anybody in there?
It's already still there? Yeah, I guess.
Ori would be, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is not a marbled gilded temple. There's a lot of like woodwork.
It's a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a room, but it's also very nature oriented and that sort of
Right.
thing. So not gaudy. She's probably working at the back, so you could have a private conversation towards the
Yeah.
front of the temple if you wanted to.
Obviously, she takes note of us coming in.
She does. So
Okay.
waves to you all.
Good day. Good day.
Afternoon, man.
Greetings to you all. You can seek shelter in here as long as you like from the rain. We need this rain. It feeds the crops.
Yeah. We won't be long. It's just we happen to see our friend here, and it is outside of the rain, so we'll be out of your hair not before too long.
She says, "Take your time." And she slips through a door into the back, so she probably has her quarters back there. So she's giving you some seclusion in the main part, where there's a series of benches where people would normally sit while they listen to the sermons and whatnot. So you guys can all have a seat, or not.
I need to go and have some time this afternoon to meditate.
What are you looking at? Like in an hour or something?
It may take a little longer than that. I need to be in the woods.
What for?
That's a long way.
We've traveled like a week. You've never had to do this before. What's going on?
Man, there's orcs up in those woods.
Shit, Rust Brothers, man.
Yeah.
Could be that crazy fox thing or whatever the heck that was. I was talking.
That Griffin
Oh, that
thing?
was quite interesting, actually. But
Oh,
no,
fox. That guy.
he's like I have been entrusted with something, and after my decision with the other gems I had, I feel like I cannot turn aside on this.
What are you talking about?
And they saw the other device, right? So I will.
I don't know if they know what those little flecks of
Right.
ruby were, though.
Yeah. And I don't. Yeah, and I don't have a good feeling about how readily elves will share that. I just don't. I don't think it's
Probably not readily.
so. I say I have. And I'll show them. I'll just unfurl my hands, and you can see this gem in it.
Ooh,
And I'd say this
that's a
this
good one.
is-
That's a big one.
Gotta be worth a lot.
Yeah.
oh no, this is not for sale. This is
Well, you can
This
keep it until
is-
we need to hock it. That's fine.
no, it is not for sale. It is not for money.
Right
Wait,
now.
you gotta throw it in. What, you gotta throw it in the water like the other one?
Yeah. What is?
No. I need.
I think Darfa has some interesting goods that are.
She'd take it off our hands for
I could
sure.
really use a longbow.
Okay, it's not money.
Not now. It's a jewel. You got to trade it for money, elf.
We could get a lot for it.
For sure.
Maybe we
Listen.
could get a cart and some horses.
It's about the smartest thing Conn said all the time.
Oh, hey.
We're not gonna hawk this.
Oh.
Oh, what's the sentiment? You've only had it for what? A few hours? What the hell? It's not like an heirloom.
Yeah, it's exactly an heirloom. It isn't.
What?
It is an heir. It's an heirloom for my people. These
You've
are
had
not,
this all along and you haven't told us?
I just said I was entrusted with this.
By who? There's another elf here? What? Did I say
Sorry.
something wrong?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
She's an elf? Is she an elf back there? Did I not notice pointy
Yeah.
ears?
No.
Oh,
You have an amazing ability to ask 5 questions before someone can answer one.
I'm an information guy, Askelon. You should know this.
This is magic, and I might be able to learn something from it by communing with it. That's the best answer I can give you. But they are sacred to my people. They are not to be sold. They're not to be traded.
What does it do? To like make big explosions or something like that? Or is it like put something around us to save us from orcs and Rust Brothers? Do you know how to use it?
I need to commune with it to figure out whether I could use it. And I might be able to gain some information about the past life of an elf.
Why do you gotta do that out in the woods?
It
I
seems
can
boring.
use that here.
Yeah, why don't you do right here? We're not going to interrupt. We'll hang out for a little while. We'll come back.
I think it's gonna rain later. Might not want to
Oh,
be
yeah,
out.
you don't want to go outside. It's going to, it looks like storms rolling in. It's going to be crap outside.
Look, the woods would be it's the place that's most tied to my people, and therefore it's the best place for me to do this.
Is this an elf thing? I'm gathering this is an elf thing. This is starting to sound very much an elf thing.
Yes, it's an elf thing.
Why didn't you just say that? Like, hey, it's an elf thing. Oh, okay. Like woods and
How could you have missed that? It's precious to my people.
I seem to be dancing around it. I thought we were friends. We've been traveling on these lands for. I mean, I knew you before we even started out adventuring. You could be honest with me. These two jokers, they seem to have hold their end.
It's not a matter of trust. Okay.
Should we come with you?
Yeah, you can't go alone.
Yeah,
out
we
there.
gotta go with you.
Yeah, I'll go get my armor and my shield.
Yeah,
No,
I'll
not
go-
right
we'll
now.
go-
It's raining, and
Yeah, we gotta wait till it's done raining. Then we'll get our stuff and then we'll go with you.
we need to prepare. If we're going back out there, there's orcs out there, and maybe Rust Brothers and a griffin.
We
need
gotta
to gear
find a
up.
high
This-
point. That way we can make sure nobody comes up behind us and there's no trees to find us. We got you. We're got your back. What's up? What's going on? What's wrong? Bad plan? We could change it. We haven't even gotten out there yet. We don't have to go that far. Maybe we could ask elder guy if there's like a good like hill we can maybe, if that'll work. Hill's good?
No, it needs to be woods.
You can hear the rain outside on the roof increase, get heavier. So it's no longer drizzling; it's now raining.
Fantastic. You're not going to want to go out there in this. Can you do it tomorrow? Maybe the weather will be better tomorrow.
I could do it tomorrow, but I need to do it before and not as part of our leaving this village.
I mean, you got to do the thing that you want to do before we leave.
Correct. So before we make plans or leave, I need to go. I need to go and spend some time in the woods to do this.
How long do we plan on staying here? Look at Conn and Garm.
We just got here. Why would we be in a rush to leave?
Gotta get to the reach. There's nothing here. There's gonna be orcs and Rust Brothers all over this place. It's gonna become Orcville. I was talking to Garm about it. He agrees.
It's true.
Conn, what do you think?
I don't think those orcs are going to come here. They were too beaten up.
They're on the run. This is a village. They will come.
But they were ahead of us.
Maybe they've got scouts that missed this place, but as soon as they find it, they're going to be in here and all over the place. They're going to make this Orcville.
And the Rust Brothers, I'm telling you, if they learn of a village, they'll stop here.
For sure.
100%.
I'd rather go up against those orcs now. They're all busted and bandaged up, but ruin the good. I'm still ticked off at you guys. We could be in the good graces of those guys, but no.
Are you going on about enough of that? Enough of you revise and everything that happened in the past.
Fine.
Telling one story and then another. But before we leave this village, we have to get gear. We need.
I'm sorry. I don't quite understand the. I guess. A day, a week, a year. That's not that much time to me. But
we're not elves.
Yes, you are not an elf.
Time moves slower for us, but faster than when danger is around. Time is. It speeds up. So what's the plan? We get our goods. You go out in the woods tomorrow. We get the goods, and then once you're done, you're going to be out there? What, half a day?
I don't know. It could be. It could be that long.
That's a problem. If you don't
Maybe, got an idea. What do you guys say? We get our goods. We go out with Askelon. He does his thing. We'll leave him put him over 10 feet away or something. He can do his thing. And then once he's done, we keep going.
No, I like I said, if I learn something important, I need to be able to come back here to the temple and speak to Ori.
Yeah, but why?
She's not even an elf. Right? What's her deal? You're confused.
Okay. Well, look, she's the one that gave this to me to see if I could find anything out about it. And I promised to let her know if I could find something.
Okay. So we do same
but
plan.
It is not to be spread around. Okay. I trust you. This is not to be spread around the town that I have this.
No, we can't let somebody know we got a treasure. Here's the deal. We go out we get our gear. We go out into the woods. You do your thing. We'll come with you. We'll stay away from you. You can do your thing. We won't interrupt. We'll come back. You can give her the info, and then we get the hell out of here. Garm, you with me?
It sounds like a good plan.
Conn?
100%. Let's do it.
Okay, so we do this tomorrow.
If the weather pending. I mean, we don't want to go out and sit in the woods in the rain. We got plenty of time to do that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So we got a plan here, right? Okay. Right. Everybody feeling good about this? Feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah, but if it's raining, you're going. You're going to just have to knuckle up there.
Oh, come on. Why do we got to go out in the rain if we've got a choice? It's not like we don't have a village.
Because time is pressed. Time is pressed.
Hey,
The Rust
nobody
Brothers
knows
and the Orcs
more
can
about
meet
time
here.
than me, man. I want to get to the bitter reach so we can start getting the gold going, right?
I just want you to analyze the name of the place we are going. I don't think the weather is going to be as nice as a summer rainstorm.
It's going to be payday, though. That's the thing. Yes, it's going to be cold, but
Bitter.
we'll be prepared. Hey, look, we're not going up there unprepared. There's probably going to be a port that we're going to go to that's going to be able to supply us with good stuff before we go and freeze our butts off. But after that, it's going to be gravy. We're going to get resources that they don't have down here. It's going to be a great trade. We're going to be living high on the hog, Askelon. That's what we're doing.
I too want to go there. There is something there that I'm looking for, of course, as I said, but I don't know that hopefully we will find some more of this money. And I will go, and this is not money.
Okay.
It's not going to be turned into money.
All right.
It's
not money. It's a ruby, that's probably, I don't know, priceless, fine. I'm sure nobody else is going to want to get it. So we got to make sure we keep this under wraps. Right? Somebody in the village could steal this thing. Can you trust that woman that gave it to you?
Yes.
All right. So it's safe to say that we're the only ones and the woman that know about this thing?
As far as I know.
Askelon?
As far as I know, yes.
All right. Okay. So, hey, Conn,
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not the one that needs to be we have to worry about here.
Oh, yeah.
With the loose lips.
Sure. Whatever.
Conn, how old were you when the Rust Brothers took you in?
Well, I think he was very, very young.
Very
Conn,
young.
Yeah, I think Conn was probably 10, 11.
Make me
He was
a straight wits roll, please.
Sure.
Ooh, success. Okay. Conn, when Askelon holds the gem up, as Wayne just did a minute ago, and says, "This is not money," and you get a good look at it, there's a memory you have of a stone like this. That's from back when you were just brought into the Rust Brothers. So it was terrifying days where you were trying to figure out where you fit, how you could not get stomped on by these, metal booted men, and you were underfoot and all that sort of stuff. But you remember a ceremony where they had like their smith, who was like a warhammer dude, right, with biceps that are 20 inches around, using a hammer to smash a stone that looked just like that. And they had this reverent ceremony where they were all sort of chanting together, and they smashed one of these things. And now that you've seen it, you didn't know what it was at the time, and you still don't really, but you know that the Rust Brothers made a huge, huge deal out of smashing one of these things.
All right. And so I go a little pale. Probably go a little bit pale as this flashback hits me, and I look at Askelon. The Rust Brothers, they covet those things. They do some kind of unholy ceremony with them. In a large group they gather, and a giant of a man I saw when I was a boy smash one of those with a hammer. It shattered to many pieces, and they chanted and praised Rust as they did this. If the Rust brothers find out that this is here, now I don't know
Feeling-
how they would.
You feeling
They
okay,
will.
man?
They will burn this whole place down to get that thing.
You don't look so good.
No, I'm not.
I
I'm
don't-
not feeling good about this now.
Well, sit down. We
I
should
have
sit
to
down.
take a seat.
That
I
the
sit
Rust
down.
brothers hate this, if anything, is not an indictment of this. It should, if anything else, tell you that it is feared by them and hated by them, and therefore it's good.
No,
Can
I
we
don't
use it?
doubt that.
Can we use it against them?
I don't know the answer to that. To be completely honest with you.
I think Askelon would think potentially yes.
Oh, that's so. There's hope.
Those Rust brothers sound like real assholes. Should we go back and set up an ambush?
I would love to
Take 'em
kill
out.
them. I'd love to kill them, but there are too many for us right now.
Too many. Come on, Garm. Yeah, we got to pick our battles, man. This is. They're not going to want one-on-one like your orc.
I would
friend.
prefer these walls and that ballista to shoot down upon them. Maybe we.
Yeah, they're not creatures of honor. So
No.
I wouldn't have any issue.
Brush the fields with oil if they have it and grease and set them aflame when they get near these walls. No mercy for them because they will have none for us unless we praise rest with them. You do not want to go down that path.
Well, hopefully this ruby will be of use against them if it comes to that. Of course, I don't think that's don't mistake my optimism for opportunity.
I just want to say it may have that potential, but in and of itself, it is not a weapon. You know, I may learn something more once I have some time with it.
So you could become powerful with it. That's what you're saying.
Excuse me?
You could harness power from it. Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying.
Are you asking me if I can create magic?
No. Well, I know you can do that, but I'm talking about from this jewel. Ah, I see. You're
It's
underestimating yourself. I have faith in you. Yes. Great. All right. I
We
will
should probably
support
go
you.
now, right?
Yeah. Well,
If he could learn more from this, we should probably just go now. Like,
no, it's
We
raining
need to gear
outside.
up. We do. Come on, we can't stay in here all day, Stas. We do eventually need to go and get things and talk to Stam and let him know about the Rust brothers.
Yeah,
Not the stone. And then we need some food because you are,
You guys catching Phil?
so we got to get more food.
I feel
Garm, don't you have to get some equipment too?
Canadian
Didn't
internet
you have to
time
get
there.
some? You were getting stuff repaired.
Give us that one more time, Phil. You dropped out there for a second.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Garm, don't we have to go get to your equipment, your armor to the smithy?
right. And Stas, that lady Darfa said she had something interesting for us to check out
I don't trust her.
at the trading post. Okay. Oh,
Well,
I
yes,
wasn't
we
gonna
should
buy it,
probably
so.
we should probably find out what that's all about. But plan is get everything together, head out tomorrow. Askelon does his thing, come back, report to the holy woman, and then we get out of Dodge. Dodge is a weird vernacular. I don't know where it comes from, but my grandfather used to use that word.
Did you meet? Sorry, wait a minute.
Who?
Looking for the name. Sorry.
Fat guy? Tall guy? Woman? Petite woman? Large woman?
Holy cow.
One down a couple ways?
Siga.
Sega.
Did you meet Siga?
Yeah.
Did you find him?
He's not the guy he's the guy from the west. East.
He's the hunter that knows about the East.
No, we haven't talked to him yet.
Okay.
Treasure hunter, by the way, not just hunter.
Oh,
Do you know where we can find him?
at the inn.
Do I know who he is? Or did you just mention him?
I met him last night while you were out training or whatever that was.
Who is this person you speak of? See, he's
I just said he's a hunter. I met a treasure hunter. I met at the inn last night.
nice guy.
Yeah.
Shifty.
Not that I
Ah.
could tell.
Yeah, come on, Askelon. You hesitated. He's shifty.
I don't know that he's shifty.
All right. Regardless, you're right. We should probably tap him if he's come from the east.
So I'm going to say, Askelon, if you describe him, and I think he's a man with a long dark hair and a kind of a frizzy ponytail. So he's probably not very happy with this wet weather right now. His hair will be very unmanageable. But Stas, when you were at the sinkhole, I don't think you interacted with him, but sounds like somebody who was at the sinkhole last night late.
Hey, was this guy like this tall, ponytail? Like sensitive ponytail guy?
I don't know if he was sensitive or shifty, honestly, but he was a treasure hunter.
Oh, I think I might have seen that guy last night.
There's a peal of thunder outside, and the rain gets heavier still. So it's downright pouring at this point.
How far is it to the
dripping on me.
inn from here?
Oh, not very far.
All right. Let's
You know,
why don't we go discuss
100
this over
paces.
lunch?
Or 200 paces, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
could go for some food. Yeah, let's do that.
We don't want to
Askelon.
get we don't want to get gear yet.
In this, we could. What's closer, the gear trading post or the end?
Darfus is closer, and then you'd have to go further down towards the south to get to the White Raven.
I suppose it's on the way. I hate getting wet. It takes forever for these things to dry.
Well, I don't know, man, but I gotta see Stom. The guards told me I should speak to him sooner rather than later.
I gotta
Yeah.
go see him too. He's got my armor and shield.
Here we go.
Well,
We
he's
can go.
probably not. He can't be doing anything in this stuff. Freaking.
Orcs don't melt in the rain. He'll be fine.
No, it's just rain.
I know that, but if he's foraging and it's like raining outside, it's probably a little hard to keep his freaking forge hot.
Right.
I'm
But
sure he's
the stuff he was fixing on my stuff is probably fine. Probably could do.
All right,
You
which
go-
one's
you go.
closer? Is he closer than the? Than
No,
what's her name?
You go see Darfa. We'll go to Stom. We'll meet for lunch, late lunch, say 14 bells, 2 bells. I don't know, however this time system works here.
Do you even know how to tell time as an orc?
Yeah.
No.
By the
You're
sun.
articulate
sun
as
is-
hell, but damn, I can't believe you know how to tell time.
By the sun.
Which you can't see.
Right.
Yeah, because it's raining. Yeah.
All right, fine. We'll meet you at the inn for whatever, lunch,
Lupper.
afternoon meal.
11Zs.
Conn, I'd be interested to hear what Stom says. Because are you updating him on the?
The Rust Brothers.
Yeah, I want to know how that goes.
And he wasn't the one who was offering us the money for the Griffin, was he?
He
He
was.
was.
Okay, so maybe I'll see if I can dig out a little bit more on that. But yeah,
Don't negotiate with him about that. Just don't, say, I'll take care of that if we're even interested remotely. I think we should, that's not part of the plan. Don't let him know that.
Could be. Could
Okay.
be treasure.
Maybe. We'll see. I think I could get the 6 gold without having to have any of us die or even risk dying, if you know what I'm saying.
oh boy.
I don't.
Yeah,
You're supposed to
Garm,
kill
you don't
the
get
griffin
it.
and-
Wink is like a human thing. It's meant to be. I got it covered.
Human thing. Huh.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, yeah, let's go, Garm.
Pull a cloak
All
up
right.
over the head.
So the four of you are going to break up here in the midday rain.
You want us
Askelon?
You want us to talk more about
Yeah.
it?
Just to be clear, I just want to make sure.
No.
Originally, Q3, I was going to do the training. Are we now? Is that Q4 now?
Hold on a second. I don't want to do that. I want to change what I was going to do.
Well, at the beginning of Q3 is when you guys meet and have this discussion that you've just gone through, right? At about midday. So I think, Wayne, you were talking about maybe not doing, before you knew it was raining, you were about to go off into the woods instead of training with Ori, right? Certainly, you could use the rest of the afternoon to do that training now if you didn't want to go into the rain.
Yeah. If she will do that, then I will do
that. So Askelon and Ori stay at the Temple of the Raven, have some light lunch, and then get to talking about the healing arts and that sort of, good for you sorcery. Stas, what are you doing when Garm and Conn go to see Stomp?
I will go to what's her name's place.
Darfa?
Darfa, apparently, because she's the closest to the temple.
It's a small town, though. It's a 5-minute walk pretty much anywhere in the village, right?
All right.
I think there's only like 40 or 50 structures or something like that we talked about, even fewer. 60 people total living there, so probably 20 structures. Not that many.
That's where I would go, because I think she had that. Garm was really hung up on the thing she was dangling in front of us, the carrot. About the.
And what? Do you remember much about that carrot?
I don't remember, other than apparently it was like she would have something that would be worth a gold or a piece of gold or something. Got it.
All right, let's do Conn and Garm, and we can fast forward this if we need to. If you guys want to get to some action tonight and not do role play all night, it's up to you. When you go see Stomp, that's the smithy, right? So you go to the smithy. Kevin, go ahead and roll a d6, and on a 4, 5, or 6, your armor's ready. You can pay for it. Otherwise, he hasn't been able to get to it yet. You can bring it back. You can take it back if you need to, but we'll see if he's had time.
All right.
Conn, have you met Stomp yet?
No.
Okay. All right. So when you walk in, so he's this balding, bearded older man that is like the town elder. So he's the guy who basically is a spokesperson, the reeve, the mayor, whatever you want to call it. And he's not a dwarf, but he almost looks like one, where he's like just over 5 feet tall, very squat, and he has this slow way of speaking. And when he sees Garm come in, he gestures, your gear's over there on the table. What can I do for you? Did you agree a price before, Garm?
No, I didn't. What do I owe you?
Second. Tell me what you had repaired.
A large shield and my studded leather armor. Both of them were down a die.
Okay. Let's say, if you want to just kind of do this in the background, let's say go to the values of those, and he will charge you a quarter of the value in coins to repair them.
I'll type what I find in the chat.
Yep, that's fine. Just debit it from your coins or whatever. And Conn, what do you say to Stom?
Stan, I was told I should speak to you about the Rust brothers. I'm a companion of Garm's.
Well, what do you have news?
Well, they're heading this way, and there's got to be almost a dozen of them, and they're big and they're mean. And if you let them into your village, they're going to put people to the sword, and they're going to burn your houses. And they'll take your food, and they'll take your children. Unless you convert and become a follower of Rust, which is not a nice life.
He looks out. The front of his shop is wide open, right? It's a smithy. He looks up the street at the Temple of the Raven and says, people are not like to do that, to change their allegiance to that heinous god. These Rust brothers were far in the south and west, I always heard.
No, they're by that tower, by the lake. That's where we encountered them. And they were heading this way. They were tracking orcs. Looks like they had attacked one of the clans. But they're heading this way. And
Or
if they know of
are
this
they-
town, they're going to come
are they-
banging on your walls.
Are they trailing you? Will they follow you
No.
here?
No, we came by water. They were tracking the orcs kind of north or east. They were on land. They didn't know about us. We slipped away from them. I'm pretty good at that.
You're suggesting if they come here, we fight them.
You might have to. I'm suggesting certainly that you keep your doors closed, the walls shut. Don't let them in.
I'll double the guard until we are sure and send scouts.
It's a wise move.
Thank you for the knowledge. Are you? He looks at Garm as well. Looks at Garm's bulging biceps and his physique. Are you staying? Will you help us fight these men if they come?
If they come and I am here, you will have my bow. But I do not promise that I can stay. But that's why another reason why I've come to speak to you. I need arrows, and preferably a longbow if you have one. And we're going to need food.
Provisions you'll want to talk to Darfa about.
Okay.
But the weapons, let me see. Turns to the back. Just need a check, Phil, to see if those are
that's cool.
uncommon or not, right?
They say common for the arrows.
Okay.
The bow. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm looking as well. This is where it's in two different tables.
Yeah, I know. It could use a cleanup.
It's at the front or is it at the back?
I think it's at
Range.
the back.
Yeah, it's at the back. Longbow, uncommon.
Okay.
I think that means 4 or higher.
Sure.
D6, 4 or higher, he'll have a longbow.
Okay.
So he rummages around, he brings you a quiver of arrows, puts those on the table, and says, "The longbow. Hang on." Roots around in an old trunk. I think you remember me describing his shop before where there's stuff sort of all over.
Yep.
But he dusts it off, brings out this old but stout-looking bow. Says it needs to be restrung, but it's in good shape. I fixed this up after someone brought it in, sold it to me months ago. They found it out there. He kind of waves at the Ravenlands, but he shoves it across. And the prices, Phil, will be as they are in the book if you just want to shell those out.
But do I need to be worried based on the way you described where the bow was found, like the condition of it?
No, I'm just.
Okay.
It's an older bow that probably has seen better days. He had to repair it, basically.
Cool. All right. No, this looks serviceable. Thank you. And do you have arrows too for it?
Yeah, I do. He shoves those from the side of the counter where he put them, right here.
Perfect. I'm gonna need 2 sets.
I was just going to say, is that per die that you have to pay?
Yeah. Yeah, they're 12 copper per die. I'm gonna have to do the math. I might only be able to afford 1. Actually, no, I've got gold and silver. No, I'll be good. I'll do the math. Okay, so the longbow, 2 sets of arrows, and
you know what?
For the resources. Okay, cool.
Okay. If you want cheaper arrows, he probably has wooden-headed arrows as well. But
no, thank you.
I think I'll give you some modifiers if you use those.
Yeah. No,
those are half price.
Only the best. Yeah, for a reason.
Okay. So those are arrowheads that he himself has forged. So he spends some time running his thumb over them. This is the one you want if you're fighting an armored opponent.
Cool.
This is the one you want to take down a beast. This one leaves a wound channel that will keep bleeding. He goes all Brett on you.
Love it. Yeah, these are masterfully made. Yeah, I can appreciate that. Eh? Oh yeah, just deep into it. Into it.
Yep.
Going into his toolbox. I love it.
That's right. Garm, did you have something you wanted to add as well?
When you buy the longbow, Conn, what do you do with the short bow?
Do you want it?
The orc is behind.
I can use it. I know how to use it.
Yeah, then I give it to you. Take it. You're gonna need arrows though.
Yep. And then he ponies up and he pays for a set of a die of arrows.
Okay. 12 copper.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, so you guys are doing your exchanging and purchasing, and Garm, you're inspecting the armor repairs and the shield repairs. It looks good. So your equipment's back to full health.
Yep.
After you've made the exchange, he says, "I'm going to go to the barracks and tell the men to get ready. Tell them to double the guards." So towards the southern gate of the town, there's probably the little building where most of the guards are stationed when they're on duty, type of thing. So he's heading down there and closes his shop, unless you guys are going to buy more.
I don't think I can afford any more. I'd love armor, but I don't think I can afford it. I think I'm punched.
Wayne, did you have something to say?
Any chance I know I want to do this at some point, but any chance I could have asked them to pick up some iron filings for me?
Certainly.
For my magic.
Iron filings.
So if when he was polishing or doing like any rough grinding on anything, there would just be iron filings left over. So yeah.
And in fact, when you ask him for this, guys, because sure, Askelon, you could have asked him that. His brow furrows and he's like, "Filings." And he turns around, just picks up an ingot, puts it on the table, and takes his file and is like, "There you go." He just brushes them towards you. So you guys can get a pinch of iron filings.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Which I think is all you need, Askelon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You two are set?
Yep.
Stas, you were going to see Darfa, is that right?
Yeah.
Switch to you for a second. In the heavy rain, you can actually see Darfa is closing her shop up. So she's taken down the two sort of poles that hold this folding down piece of wood that she uses when she closes the shop up at night. She's sort of waddling around, taking things in as you arrive and you are instantly soaking wet in this rain. You have exactly what you didn't want to have happen has happened by walking 20 feet in this kind of rain. You're soaked to the bone. It's pouring.
Wonderful.
She turns and looks at you, says, "I'm closing."
Well, I could give you a hand, but I came here to seek that one item that you had mentioned that might be worth some gold. Is that what I remember or recalled you mentioning the other day?
I might have something.
Well, I'll give you a hand closing up if you want to maybe talk about it or maybe give me a hint of what it might be.
She nods. So the two of you spend a little bit of time basically sealing up the front of her shop, and then she invites you inside. I need to look at the table for a second here. Oh, somebody
That'd be.
Oh, what does the Path of Gold do, Sean?
Well, I'm just checking. When you are about to buy an item, you could spend a willpower point to automatically negotiate the price down. The price is decreased by 1/5 for every willpower point you spend. And I could spend a max of 4 per item.
All right. Give me 1 second, make a couple of rolls here. And you can keep that power in mind. That is interesting. One second. More roll.
For some reason, I still have a damage of empathy. 1 point of empathy damage.
Did you do that when did you push like a skill learning roll?
I might have.
Something like that?
I might have.
Okay. All right. So she leads into the back of the shop, and it's dim in there, right? You can actually see some leaks coming down from the ceiling and whatnot, but it's all sealed up in the front, so it's dark. She lights an oil lamp. And the back of this shop is like hoarders gone crazy. So there's just stuff all over. She kind of winds you through this narrow passage of all the stuff that she has. But you do see, by the way, certainly some rations and dried meats and those sorts of things. So if the party wanted to equip themselves with some food, this would be the place to come. But she leads you back to this big workbench. She's holding this oil lamp that she's lit. She's kind of waddling through, and you can see that she barely fits through this passageway. It's like it's carved just for her size type of thing. But she leads you to the table, and she has a cloth-wrapped item that she pulls out from the folds of her apron. And she puts it on the table next to the lamp. She says, "This is very precious." She unfolds it, and you see the glint of another one of these rubies, but it's not the whole thing. It's a shard. So it's like a sliver or a shard of what looks like the gemstone that Askelon showed you earlier. She says, "It's a piece of an elf's soul. Priceless, but I have no use for it. I would give it up for gold."
For gold? You said it wasn't worth anything to you.
It's worth a lot to someone. And I can hang on to it until I find who that someone is. I can. If you're not interested. She starts folding it up.
Whoa. No, not too hasty. But, how much you asking for it?
Well, at least a gold coin.
1 gold coin?
Yes.
Come on. It's maybe
she
not
hold
even...
it up to her light, and there's this like sparkling twilight, sparkling light that hits the wall behind her. She's like, "Look at the purity of this. It's the soul of an elf, man. It's worth so much."
How did you come to get it then? How do I know the elves won't come and kill me because I have it? And it's traced back to you. And then hence traced back to me.
I'd like you to make a manipulate roll, Stas. And let me know if any of your various lying powers or anything help. You're trying to convince her to let you know what the source of it is, right? Basically.
All right, so I have level 2 in Path of Lies. So when you manipulate an NPC to make them believe what you are saying, regardless of whether it's true or not, you can spend a willpower point to succeed automatically. I can roll first and then use it if it fails.
I don't know if that's what this is, right?
Right. I don't know.
Yeah. You're not telling her anything that you want her to believe.
Right.
You're asking her something.
I will just roll the manipulation straight.
Okay. Oh dear. Willie push. Look at the damage.
Son of a gun. I will. What the hell? I'll push. Oh, son of a gun. That sucks butt.
So Stas can tell that she knows. She's like, "I know where there's many more of these." No, wouldn't tell you. Why would I tell you that? No, I will not. And he just presses and presses. So they have like a 20-minute conversation about where she got this thing until finally she again is folding it up. And she's just like, "If you are not interested and don't have gold in your pockets, then we are done talking. Good day, sir."
I have gold in my pockets. I just was inquiring about it so that I know that I'm not going to die after I take possession of it. That is all. And frankly, if you have a source for these, I am let's just say I'm in the trades business.
Is that so?
Indeed. Why would I lie to you? A person of such wealth.
But if I tell you where I got this and you have interest in obtaining it, why would you just not cut me out and go to the source?
we could keep that between us for now. Depends on the volume that you might be able to get. But we will keep in touch because I must be on my way because I'm going to a place with great resources and I could use some contacts here to trade, maybe move some goods. Would you be willing to do that? Maybe become a partner?
Tell me more.
Well, I'll tell you more if you give me a little bit of a discount on that gem.
She looks at it. I have access to more of these. You would be interested in purchasing more and maybe taking them where you said where there'd be a better market. They'd be worth more value. People would pay 5 gold, 10 gold for each of these.
Well, who is to say that it wouldn't be worth 5 or 10 more?
Has Askelon been to see Darfa yet? Don't think so. Okay.
No.
So she may not know you have an elf with you. I'll just say that.
Fair. That's okay. And that's
Stas has that as a
okay.
That's okay.
That is okay. Look, to establish a business relationship, it has to start on trust. You don't have to tell me your sources right now. Just say that this deal between you and I right now and this gem, you give me a little bit of a discount. I keep in touch with you. We set up a trade. As I get to where I need to, I'll divulge it if after this deal. I have no problem doing that. Telling you my master plan.
Sean, is this Stas using rank 1 path of gold?
I would say probably yes.
Or he's trying to get it for per willpower point you spend, you get a 20% discount, which would be 2 silver pieces, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So is that at one my math, 1 willpower point?
If you spent 1 willpower point, she'll give this to you for 8 silvers instead of a gold. Is that correct, guys? Who are looking at the monetary side of this? It's 10 silvers for 1 gold, is it not? Yeah. So instead of a gold, she'd give it to you for 8 silvers. But if you spent 2 willpower, she'd give it to you for 6 silver.
I will do it for 6.
Okay, so you're spending 2 willpower points, and she's like, I don't know, it's worth more. Fine, take it. She collects your coins with a swoop of her grubby hand. But you now have, it's much smaller than what you saw Askelon have. This is only about yay big, the size of a die, for example, or a sliver of that. But it has a weight and kind of a warmth to it when you put it in your hand.
Ooh.
She takes your coins and she says, I'm very interested in making this more lucrative for both of us.
Of course. So, I will uphold my end of the bargain and tell you right now, my goal is to seek the bitter reach. Do you know of where it is?
She just kind of gestures to the north. That way, and frigid and frozen. I don't know why you'd go there.
There's resources there, of course. We're going to go there and obtain those and then, of course, trade them in the Ravenlands. But I'll need a broker.
Interesting.
Yes. My colleagues and I.
And you would be sending these items back to the Ravenlands? Where they would be sold?
Being on a waterway, why wouldn't I?
Yes.
I will provide
Very interested.
Yes, I will provide you with my signet so that you know that an agent of mine would be coming and you'll know what to do when they arrive.
She extends her hand to shake on it.
Spit my palm, shove it in front of her.
All right. As we cut on them shaking, Askelon, were you doing the training in the afternoon? Is that what he was doing? Do you need to do a roll or anything, or you're just gonna jack up that? Isn't it a new school or is it your old school?
It's one of my schools I have, so
Ah,
I just have
gotcha.
to spend the points.
Okay.
But a lot less than I would have if I had to do it on my own.
Yeah,
That's
third.
for dang sure. Yeah.
Yes. You're welcome. Hope the other GMs at the table take note of this.
Yeah.
After I spent like 20 some points with Kasha. Oh boy. So
Yeah.
what else does Askelon talk to her about or accomplish that afternoon from noon to supper time as the rains pour down?
I would ask her again, where if she has any lore about where the stone came from originally. I mean, she said it was given to protect this village, but does she have any more information about that? That might help me.
She just lets you know that when she took over the role of being the sister that looks after the town, her predecessor basically handed it to her and said, this has been here for years. So what you gather is that that Elven Heartstone, that ruby, has been in the village for like dozens, if not hundreds of years. So the village was founded during the Blood Mist, right?
Right.
So it's probably a couple hundred years old. As a place of refuge for people from the Blood Mist sort of thing. And the ruby's been here since then. That's what she says.
I will thank her kindly. I will ask if I could have a symbol of the raven to take with me, and I would give her I'd like to give her some silver for the temple.
If it looks like you're trying to give her silver for the holy symbols, she'll return that down. But if you're literally making a donation,
yes.
there's a box for that up front. You can put in as many coins as you want into that wooden box.
Okay.
And she thanks you for that.
Okay.
Wayne, are you familiar with the holy symbol for the raven?
I know what the rune looks like. Yeah. Right. Oh, cool.
That's the symbol. There is also a rune for the raven, which is a little bit different.
Okay.
But by all means, she produces one and hangs it around your neck.
Okay.
Not knowing it's probably a spell component for a necromancer, but she thinks you're feeling the spirit surge in your breast, but no.
I do need it for the healing spells, honestly.
There you go.
But I will. I don't even know how common paper is here. Is it
parchment? Not common. Yeah. Not common at all.
Okay.
Exists absolutely, but
well, I have some parchment, so I will. And I have an ink and quill. I am going to write out a little note, and it's basically going to say, I ask, Askelon, of the gosh, I can't remember what the faction is. I think they were called the Unruly, right? I'm not sure what that is in Elvish, but what I will put that on here, and I will put the name of my mentor, which I've not developed. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Came to this temple and was helped by the people of this town and by the priestess, and I would ask your favor upon her if she needs it. And I will, tear that little piece of parchment off, and I will say, if in the future you meet an elf and you need a favor, this may help. And I will hand that to her.
big grin as she reads it, and I think it is the unruly, those
right.
elves who want to explore the world and kind of get
Right.
out there, right? She reads it aloud as you're there,
Mhm.
and then I think folds it carefully and puts it inside the same box where she had kept the Heartstone. She says, "We'll keep this. I hope we don't have need of it, but in these days
As
we
do I.
probably will."
And I say, my generous companions have offered to escort me into the woods tomorrow, where I hope to meditate and maybe get some answers about the stone. And I will bring this back to you before we leave.
She nods.
Okay.
Thank you, Askelon.
And thank you for your time and for your kindness.
So the others of you, especially Garm, Conn, and Stas, I don't know if you consumed your whole quarter here. We're talking Q3 with your bargaining for the various things. What else is the group looking to accomplish as it pours rain? Askelon is busy in the temple for the rest of the afternoon. But what are the other three of you doing for that kind of couple hour span between now and supper time?
The only thing we still needed to get was food before we could leave.
Yeah.
Which
Garm has a couple kind of side gears of equipment that he doesn't really need, that he'd be interested in trading for food.
okay, Darfa's shop is closed.
Oh yeah.
Food you could probably get from the White Raven, I would think. I think the inn probably, you'd have to order some. They bundle it up and prepare it for you that night, type of thing.
Okay.
So if you want to arrange for some food, you can do that.
That's perfect.
Each of you actually needs to make a food roll for the day eventually, or spend, right?
Right.
One or the other. All right, Stas, anything special from you, or just kind of reconvene back at the White Raven at supper time?
Reconvene at the White Raven. I need food. I only have 1d6 of food.
Okay.
How much is food?
I'm looking right now. That's probably not on the same set of tables as it, guys. Oh, field rations. It's a silver. So are we saying it'd be a silver for a die?
Yeah, that's what it says over on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
There you go.
1 unit of food increases the food
Does
resource
it
die
cost-
1 step.
Does it cost the silver?
You can spend a willpower point
I think I
And
will,
make it
because
cheaper?
I don't think I'm going to get a chance to use
because
this.
you could load up and then spend a bunch of willpower to get the whole price down. You could.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm
If you-
going to do.
You could go what? Like you have D6, you go D8, 10, 12.
Yeah.
So that would be 3 silvers. And whatever your willpower point spend is going to be from there to drop the price. And you put it this way, you guys should have Stas do your negotiation for the whole bundle of food.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
Stas,
so-
one of those bundles. I think you owe me for out in the woods.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
I think I do. Damn it.
So across the whole
Yeah.
across
If
the
I-
whole party, what do you need?
So I would need 3 to get it to D12 because I was already down to a D6. So 3 silver to get my food all the way up.
Yeah. The Orcus too.
After getting that bundle from Stas, I need 2 more. But I need 2 more.
Not out of your pocket?
Yes, out of
Okay.
my pocket.
And it's 1 silver per die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to 10.
So 7 for those jokers, and then whatever you want.
I'm going to go all the way. So we're up to 10. So 10 silver, that's 1
Yep.
gold, right?
Correct.
So, and the last time I spent 2 willpower points and got it down to 6 silver.
Mm-hmm. You do the same thing now if you wanted to.
If I got it to 4,
That's 3 willpower points. Oh,
Yeah.
you can spend up to 4.
Oh, that's right.
And
up to 4.
It would only cost you 2 silvers for all that food.
That's what I want to do because I have actually 1 gold and 2 silver.
2 silvers and 4 willpowers. So you guys are your jaws are dropping at the power of negotiations. Stas.
I'm like, okay, wait, hold on a second. Let's back this up. So I do what my brother-in-law does. He's hilarious. The way he negotiates car prices is he'll do one of these. He'll say, I don't think we're going to pay that much.
It just stays like that.
And just stand there. Yeah.
You just stare. He says, you just stare at him.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Nice.
Get all
All
weird
this
and
trick is-
uncomfortable.
Whoever talks first loses.
Yeah. Yeah, he's funny. He looks like Jack Black, by the way. That's what makes it even more interesting. All right. Yeah, that's what I do. Just like I don't think that's fair.
A lot of uncomfortable silences and well, if we took out 1 piece of bread from each ration, it would be cheaper. But in the end, Filthy Jane is in the back making up all your food bundles. Yeah. So the White Raven, she's got probably a couple of hours of food prep, I would think, for all these bundles of dried and other rations that she's going to be preparing for you guys. Dried fruit, dried meat, all that kind of stuff.
It's got a little rat in it.
I come back with like I gather up all their money and stuff. All right, give me this, give me that. Okay, all right. And I go back and get the food. And I'm like, all right, this is what we need. And the woman's eyes explode. And I'm like, no, we're not going to pay that. And then after some time goes by, I come back like with all in like this blanket. And I just like throw it onto the table. And then they hear clink, clink. And I go, here's your change. And all this food on the table.
Nice. So are you all square on who owes
I'm
what?
impressed.
Yeah, it's like 5 coppers, right? It's peanuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it was it's
Really?
5 copper each for the food. Yeah, 5 copper each. Well, it was 2 silvers total, wasn't it?
It was.
Holy shit.
So you could just do 5 coppers each. That'd be an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
I just paid for it. I just pay for it all. It's on me.
What?
It's on me. I pay for the 2 silver.
All right.
That's all yours. You can keep your money. I didn't know if I'd need it or not. Old Stas came through. See, we've been traveling all this time. You guys haven't seen me to put my, what I'm about to work. That's why we need to get to the Bitter Reach. We're going to get resources and we're going to be rich. I'll be able to negotiate everything through the Ravenlands. Have you guys as agents. Get some more agents. Be fantastic. See, this is why it's important. We got to get out of here so we don't get killed by orcs or Rust Brothers. And we get to the Bitter Reach, strike a rich.
I'm on board.
That's
Askelon,
exactly how it's going to work.
have you come to the White Raven after your training? So the 4 of you are at the White
Yes.
Raven while the food's getting
Yes.
doled out. So at some point while you're doing that, Stas, Arthund, who is the owner of the White Raven, who you did not negotiate with, you negotiated with Jane. Arthur's over like, you paid what for all of this?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to have to ask your staff member. I paid fair wage.
He goes into the back like, Jane. Oh my.
That's hilarious.
All right. Rolling around to Q4.
Hey, did what's his name come around by any chance?
What's his name?
Siga.
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 Yeah.
Roll me a d6, Sean.
I'm looking for that sensitive ponytail guy.
That's right. Look for the ponytail on a 4,
right.
5, or 6. There's a ponytail. There's no ponytail.
Oh,
Blast.
Where is that guy? All right, so it's still raining. It's supper time now. You've doled out your food. For the day, you can either roll your die and eat one of your freshly prepared meals, or you can order hot food from the inn as well, or from the White Raven.
Ordering food. How much is food? Ordering in.
That's right.
I got 2
Trying to
willpower.
remember.
I got 3 willpower points left.
Oh God, he's gonna spend them all right here. Every one of them.
This time I negotiate with the boss, like not Jane or what's her name.
no.
That way I don't get her into more
Arthand.
trouble. Arthand, yes.
Arthand, yeah. I think it doesn't have different pricing
We
for
come
like,
back and it's an all-you-can-eat food bar. The first one ever in those sunken lands. 2 copper, all you can eat.
You know what you should do? You should really get like a long table and you should make a bunch and put it out there, and then you charge everybody as much. You charge them
Well,
1 gold and they
get
can eat all they want.
Get a
Well.
hot pan of water and then you put another
So-
pan on top of it.
So
Sorry.
a feast for the whole party is a gold piece. A feast.
Guys, 1 gold.
You don't have to get a
piece.
I don't have a
feast, but
gold. I
yeah.
don't have a gold piece.
Yep.
We could all pay 1 silver if.
Yeah.
Or you can go down
Party
as,
meals
as-
are silver, yeah.
or you could go down to like a bowl of turnip soup, which will cover your daily need, and that's 3 coppers each.
Well, this may be the last night we stay here. We might as well eat hearty, hey boys.
You can also do hearty, which would be 1 silver each. Gives you
I'll
like
do this. I'll do the hearty.
bowl of stew, a hearty meal, or a feast.
I don't have the gold, so I guess we're gonna do a hearty meal.
Hey, it's not going to cost you a full gold. Come on, have some faith, Askelon.
Yeah. Is it a gold piece per person for a feast?
No,
Or is it?
no, it's 1 covers the party.
Right. So,
A gold coin's a lot in this game.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stas, you wanna? We could have a feast.
I think she's kind of hot. I think she's sweet on me. I think I can. But, I don't want to get her into trouble. She gave us all this food for pretty cheap. So maybe I'll talk to the guy, but make a wink at her. She might slide us some extra.
There you go.
All right, Arvin.
It's also Arthur comes over.
Arthur.
Yes, have you decided on you're dining in tonight? I hope.
We are very hungry, and we would like your best food. What is the cost of that?
Oh, so you're like a multi-course meal where we would bring 5 courses of food and fill the wine flagons as full as you want all night? That will be 10 silver pieces, or a gold if you have it.
What is it that you serve that is so good?
Oh, well, there's roast duck, and we have fresh gooseberry salad, and we have wine that's come in from the east. There's much that we can serve you. Fresh bread we've made this morning, cheese that the dairy has produced.
What do you think, fellas? I just stare at him.
It's the finest
us.
food. Yeah, he's using his tricks on you now.
Askelon's like got the tennis net going. Look in between them.
So I'll spend two silver, and that'll take it down to. I gotta really get this math down.
You're spending 4 more
2
willpower
silver?
points,
No, I don't have 4. I only have 3 left.
so you could get the feast for 4 silver.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
So one
So we all pay 1
silver.
silver.
We all pay 1 silver.
man.
Oh my gosh.
Can you guys swing it?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let me see. Let me see what I could do. What you got? What do you got? This. Yeah, we really, really want this food, but this is all the money we got, and there might be some more tomorrow. But what do you say, Arvin?
Fine. Yes, we'll do it. Chain, fire up the ovens. So it's also just the right night for a feast indoors, right? Where it's pouring, pissing down rain outside.
Nobody's coming in here. You're not going to have any
Fires
patrons.
are going.
Let us pay what we can. It'll still keep you guys in business for the evening, profitable.
So they fire up the kitchen and basically dote on you for the next hours. It probably takes 3 hours to eat this meal. If you've ever been to one of those restaurants where they bring out like 7 courses of food, it's like 2 courses an hour type of thing. So it takes forever to eat it. What else was going to get accomplished tonight, or is this it? Is this the the feast?
Then
This is
go into
good.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that and sleeping is all we need to do.
The most realistic scene of the whole game so far. We have a big supper and we go to bed.
Right.
Just when I think like that's it, like he comes out with more food, I'm like, all right, hey, another one, woo! How many
Yep, the
courses
wine-
did you say this was?
Yep, exactly. And the wine is flowing, and I would imagine anybody else who is staying here, and that will at some point would include the ponytail you're looking for, would come by as the evening wears on. If the 4 of you stay in the White Raven for hours on end, recanting stories and eating luscious fruits and drinking your wine and all that kind of stuff. All right. We're almost at the bottom of the hour. You want to keep going for 30 more minutes? You want to call it here? What do you guys want to do?
Up to the team. I'm okay. But-
Especially our 2 late East Coasters.
Yeah.
East-ish.
I don't know.
coasters.
This feels like a good spot. I mean, we're about to go to bed. Fresh day. We're heading out. Yeah, this is a good spot to end it, maybe, Harrigan.
Okay. Well, you know what we can do, Phil, is we can also no, let's end it right here, actually. You know what? That's not true. I have an idea. If the group is ready to kind of cut it though, and we'll move to XP and all that sort of stuff. Let's zoom out a little bit from the White Raven, and we see the Raven. Night's starting to fall, so even though it's summer and you get longer daylight, the cloud cover is so heavy and the rain's so heavy, it's very gray outside. So as the camera pulls back, we see the lovely lit windows and the shadows inside. As you guys are very animated in terms of being happy about the food you've all just scored and packed away, and the feast you're eating, the gear you've just picked up. Askelon has the elven heartstone on his body, and he's like, this is one of the most treasured things I could have found, kind of thing. And the camera keeps pulling back, and you see the whole town from the air, and then we zoom into some trudging feet in the muck. And the camera pulls back a little bit more, and we see a number of orcs all heading straight for the town. And we'll cut it there in the rain as someone is approaching from the southern gate as darkness is starting to fall.
This has been a Litterbox Studio production.